Welcome to Jen's Daily Dish. Today we're going to be making chocolate chip cookies. But these are not ordinary chocolate chip cookies. These have two secrets in them. One, a secret ingredient which you would never expect, and two, a secret method, both of which will take your chocolate chip cookies to the next level because I love cookies. L is for the way I love cookies. O is for the only cookie for me. V is very, very, very chocolatey. E is even more than I adore cookies. Now that we've gotten the song out of the way, let's do this. First things first, apron on. Much better. Let's get the ingredients in. We're going to combine the sugars and the shortening and the baking soda and that secret ingredient. 2/3 cup light brown sugar, 2/3 sugar, 8 tablespoons unsalted butter, 1/2 cup vegetable shortening, 3/4 teaspoon salt, 2 teaspoons vanilla extract, 1 teaspoon baking soda. Stop. This is where we're going to add in the strange secret ingredient. 1 teaspoon vinegar. Yes, vinegar. You can use white vinegar or you can use apple cider vinegar. I didn't have white vinegar, so I'm adding 1 teaspoon apple cider vinegar. Ooh, did you hear that? It is fizzing and foaming, and that's what it does. The vinegar is going to help with the leavening process. It's going to help it rise a little bit more. It's also going to cut the sweetness just enough, and it's going to be super delicious. Beat until smooth and creamy. Scrape down the edges of the bowl. That's looking pretty smooth and creamy. Add in 1 large egg. Beat again. Make sure it's thoroughly combined. Feel free to do this by hand too. You can totally do that. Okay, this is the batter with the vinegar. Let's taste it. I cannot taste the vinegar. I think it's gonna do exactly what it's supposed to do. We'll see. 2 cups all-purpose flour. I'm going to do the rest by hand. Add in 2 cups semi-sweet chips. Okay, stop again. This is the other part of the secret. I am going to refrigerate this dough for 24 hours. I'm also going to lay it out flat into a block, and I'm going to cut it into squares. I know, you're thinking, what are you doing, Jen? So here's the reason why I'm going to do that. 1, chilling the dough will cause it to spread less, which will make for a thicker cookie. It will also give the dough time to dry out. And I know that sounds contrary to anything that you would possibly want in your cookie dough. Who wants dry cookie dough? No one. But you kind of do, because it's going to give the flour time to absorb all the sugars and get super yummy. 2, chilling the dough will concentrate the flavor. So as the flour and this mixture becomes drier, the flour is going to start to break down a little bit into its sugar component, which is going to enhance the flavor, sort of like a lovely wine, but in the form of a cookie and only in 24 hours. 3, the drier the dough, the more concentrated the flavor, the more concentrated the texture, creating a chewy or crispy cookie versus a soft, doughy one. So those three things are gonna make an incredible chocolate chip cookie. I cannot wait. Flatten out to 1 inch thick. Does not have to be perfect. You just want to get this in a sort of square shape. I'm terrible with measurements, so I'm using this to help me get the inch that I need in thickness. All right, I've gotten it to a 1 inch rectangle. Now I'm going to cover it with the extra wax paper that I have here, and I'm going to stick it in the refrigerator overnight. If you don't have time for overnight or can't wait, which I understand, at least put it in for 30 minutes. You'll be happier you did. Into the refrigerator goes overnight for me. All right, it's time. Let's cut them. Now that the flowers have had time to break down and absorb the sugar, the flavor should be more toffee caramel versus just straight vanilla. And who doesn't like that? Preheat your oven to 375. We're gonna cut the refrigerated cookie dough into 1 inch squares. Let's measure out 1 inch. There's 1 inch, there's 1 inch, there's 1 inch. All right, make a mark best you can. It doesn't have to be perfect, it just has to be close. So I'm lining them up here. Okay, then cut all the way through. Again, these are not perfect 1 inch squares, but they're close. Onto the cookie sheet, 2 inches apart. The true test, let's bake them. Bake until the edges are chestnut brown and the middle is a light golden brown. The recipe calls for you to keep the cookies in the oven for 11 to 12 minutes. I kept mine in anywhere from 7 to 9 minutes, keeping a close eye on them because they are smaller cookies. The edges look chestnut brown and the tops look very light golden. Let them sit on the pan for a couple minutes, just until they are cool enough that you can lift them up with a spatula and they won't break. I made 60 chocolate chip cookies. Oh yes. Let's try one. It is chestnut brown and golden in the center. Smells delicious. Let's take a bite. Let's take a look at the insides. Oh, I can see they are holding on a little bit, making them nice and chewy. Let's go ahead and try it. I don't know if you can hear that. They are crispy on the outside and chewy on the inside, just as promised. The flavor is soft and mellow and caramelly and chocolatey and super delicious. If I can do this, you can too. Don't forget to like and subscribe and turn on those notifications so you don't miss an episode. They're so good. The cookies are in the oven. Oh,